So let's listen. It's Monday, September 8th. Shooting in Jerusalem, at least 5 people are dead after attackers opened fire at a bus stop in Jerusalem. Hamas has praised the shooting without claiming responsibility.
This isn't about the dollars, this is about balance. The dollars are an after amount.
The U.S. government may have to give back about half the tariffs it has collected if a Supreme Court ruling doesn't go their way. A hard landing in Saint Martin. No one was hurt, but passengers on this flight from Toronto did need to evacuate the plane. And from Ricky Martin to Lady Gaga and Mariah Carey, we will bring you all the highlights from the MTV Video Music Awards. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
I'm Kelsey McEwen. Happy Monday.
Let's jump right into news because we are following breaking news this hour out of Jerusalem, where at least 5 people were killed in a shooting at a bus stop. So what we're showing you right now is some footage of where this happened. This is a live look at the scene this hour. People were running for safety after the sound of gunshots rang out. Police and the military are on scene. This is in northwest Jerusalem. Authorities say the attackers drove up to the bus stop, opened fire, killing at least 5 people. The people killed include a 50-year-old man and 3 men in their 30s. 12 people were also hurt. 7 of those people are in serious condition. Police say 2 attackers were also killed. So Hamas has praised the attack, saying it was carried out by 2 Palestinian gunmen, but the militant group stopped short of claiming responsibility. We'll have more on this story as it develops throughout the morning. So the U.S. may issue refunds for tariffs if its Supreme Court upholds a ruling that found the tariffs to be illegal.
So we would have to give a refund on about half the tariffs, which would be terrible for the Treasury.
And you're prepared to give those refunds?
Well, I mean, there's no be prepared. If the court says it, we'd have to do it.
The Trump administration has asked for a quick ruling on the legality of the reciprocal and fentanyl-related tariffs. So here's the deal. If the Supreme Court upholds the ruling and half the tariffs are refunded, that means U.S. businesses that paid those tariffs will get some money back, even though they've already passed those costs on to consumers. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also said there are other ways to impose tariffs, even if they lose the legal battle. But he said he's confident the Supreme Court will rule in the administration's favor. A bit of confusion and concern over Canada's climate goals this morning after Prime Minister Mark Carney announced another pause to an environmental policy.
I think all Canadians should be concerned that this government is backtracking on climate action at a time when wildfires are still burning across this country.
Since becoming Prime Minister, Mark Carney has canceled the consumer carbon tax and just last week paused Canada's EV mandate. Prime Minister Mark Carney has said his government isn't stepping back from climate action, but when pressed, Industry Minister Mélanie Joly would only clearly commit to Canada's 2050 net zero targets. In a statement, the Environment Minister's office says Canada will, quote, provide an update on its emissions reductions planned as we strive toward our 2030 and 2035 targets. No one was hurt after a flight from Toronto to Saint Martin experienced a really hard landing, forcing passengers to evacuate the plane using the emergency slides. This was a WestJet flight. There it is, landing pretty hard yesterday afternoon. Emergency services responded right away, deployed foam as a precaution, and then all passengers, they made it off the aircraft safely. But this caused delays for people who were supposed to board that plane for a flight back to Toronto. So a number of passengers were left waiting at the airport for hours before being told their flight was canceled. Meanwhile, more turbulence when it comes to the labor dispute between Air Canada and its flight attendants, with the airline's latest wage offer being rejected.
The magnitude of the defeat. I mean, I can't remember the last time that 99% of the members overturned or voted down the deal negotiated by their own leadership. So it suggests that they're very, very upset.
Voting wrapped up this weekend, and flight attendants voted 99.1% against the company's offer. The proposed wage hike was 12% for flight attendants with 5 years service or less, and 8% for employees with 6 years or more service. So, big question. What happens now? Well, the wage dispute will now head to mediation. The union says the other approved terms will carry over into a new collective agreement. The partially rejected deal, which ended last month's strike, had included pay raises and a new structure for time worked while planes are on the ground. We are expecting an update from the RCMP today about one of Canada's most wanted criminals. Robbie Alkaleel, escaped from a BC prison. That was in 2022. At the time, he was facing murder charges linked to gang-related killings. He was convicted while on the run after his escape. Alkaleel is number 3 right now on Canada's most wanted list. An almost 4-year manhunt in New Zealand has ended in a shootout, and 3 children have been recovered safely.
The scene where the children were located will be guarded overnight, and a full forensic examination will form part of our investigative work in the days to come.
Tom Phillips was shot and killed early this morning. He had been on the run since 2021 after taking his 3 children from their family home and then fleeing into the wilderness. This footage, released by New Zealand police, shows Phillips and one of his children allegedly trying to break into a store. One child was with Phillips when he was fatally shot by police. That child was taken into police custody. According to the authorities, that child helped officers locate the other 2 siblings. Their mom says she's saddened by the events, but also deeply relieved her children's ordeal has come to an end. Commuters in London are dealing with a tube strike this morning. Workers for the city's subway system have started a 5-day walkout. So there will be little to no service for the work week. Workers are asking for higher wages and a 32-hour work week for, quote, fatigue management. London Transport has said the pay raise is negotiable, but cutting down work hours is not practical or affordable. It was a big night for music at the MTV Video Music Awards, with Lady Gaga taking home Artist of the Year.
Thank you, Little Monsters, my fans, for always supporting me and always supporting the monster in me.
Okay, other notable moments. Ricky Martin, haven't seen you in a while, performed and was awarded the first MTV Latin Icon Award. Ariana Grande won for Best Pop and Video of the Year. Alex Warren performing Ordinary and was named Best New Artist, by the way. Plus, there was a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. Mariah Carey also performing a medley of her hits before accepting the MTV Video Vanguard Award.